Welcome back to season 31 of 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine. I'm your host, Gino Reda. Time now for the CJHL Report. The Canadian Junior Hockey League brings together the 115 teams at 9 Junior A leagues involving over 2,500 players from right across the country. The Waywayseecappo Wolverines are the only First Nations owned and operated Junior A hockey team in Canada. For much more on that now is Wolverines head coach and general manager Taylor Harnett. Welcome to the show. Taylor, great to have you on the show.
Great to be here, Gino. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about where your community is, how far it is from a major center, to give us a geographical sense for listeners and viewers right across the country.
Well, we're located in Treaty Fort Territory, which is in southwestern Manitoba. We're not too far from the Saskatchewan border. We're a couple hours north of the U.S. border, and we're about a 3.5-hour drive from big city of Winnipeg.
You guys are breaking some ground because you're the first team that's run and fully owned by First Nations in the Junior A Hockey League. What did that mean to you guys to be able to take that step and to advance forward like this?
Well, it's a great honor. You know, there's been some organizations, I think, throughout the CJHL that have been owned and operated by First Nations community, and you know that was new to me here just over a year ago to find that out. And it's truly an honor. Our community has a lot of support. Chief Murray Clearsky's been here for many years, and his council, the support that we get from them and the community is amazing. So it's something that we take a lot of pride in.
I want to delve into that a little more deeply, because when you talk about the community support, junior A hockey in this country doesn't happen without local support from this community. What does community support mean to you, and how does that translate in terms of people coming to the games? I know right now we're in a situation where it's difficult to go to the games because of COVID, but give me a sense of what community support means to you and how that translates to your team.
Well, you know what? I think the junior hockey wouldn't exist if it wasn't for fans and the support that you get from communities. And a lot of communities like us are not only supported by local communities such as Waywayseecappo, but surrounding communities. We rely a lot on our fans and the support to be able to operate. And I think the biggest thing is just getting back involved and showing the communities how much you appreciate them, whether it's community charity events or attending schools, whatever it is. We try and do that as much as we can. But you know what? Without the support of our community and of course our billet families, it would be really tough to function.
You got a great video on your website titled "We Are Waywayseecappo Wolverines." There's one line that really stuck out. It reads as follows: "Whether it's through winning games and getting recognition for our community or setting up our players for a life of success, we carry our name and culture with confidence." There is so much to unravel in that one sentence. Tell me what that means to you and how that translates as you coach and you're the general manager of this organization.
Well, it's definitely a well-rounded question. We try and follow the 7 teachings as much as we can. One of the key components of that is humility, and it's something we talk about as a group, as a team, and we try and be as humble as we can and think about others. And I think it's so true right now with what the world's going through. It's something that's so important, just to be able to function and play your part. So we try and be the best people that we can, and carry ourselves with a lot of pride and respect, and humility, like I said earlier, is something that we talk about as a group in the locker room, and it seems to be a big part of the success that we're having.
We're in conversation with Taylor Harnett, the general manager and head coach of the Waywayseecappo Wolverines, the only First Nations owned and operated Junior A hockey team. A big part of Junior A hockey, we talked about the players and the community, is the parents. What kind of reaction have you received from the parents with the work that you're doing with their kids in the game of hockey?
I haven't dealt with a lot of reaction from the parents, but I just know that it's a big sacrifice for a family to see their son leave, and sometimes for the first time, and move away from home for 7-8 months, and to be placed in another home. There's a lot of challenges that go on there, and I can only imagine, what parents go through, and I think that the message that we get through parents is through their sons, and it's with what we're going through right now, it can only be an added I sometimes sense a stress with with the pandemic, and just making sure that their sons are in good hands, and so for the most part, any interaction that I have with parents is excitement that their sons are fortunate enough to play hockey at this level, and get an opportunity to grow as people, and to come home and to see those changes. It's interesting. I've had parents, over the years, comment on, just what a change that, they've seen in their son, just on little things such as doing laundry and doing dishes when they get home. So, it's a learning experience, I guess, in a different way for all players.
Just 5 years ago, back in 2017, you came to an organization that was 1-20-1. I don't know what attracted to you at that point where you thought, hey, listen, we got nowhere to go up. You've now led them to a 61-33-9 record since you took over. And you're one of the top 3 teams in the entire Manitoba Junior Hockey League. Talk to me about what this has been like for you to be able to take something that really needed a lot of work to the point where you are now provincially and potentially nationally a competitive junior A hockey team.
I've been asked that question, a few times over the years, and I think personally, I just seen a hockey team that was going through a tough time, and they needed some guidance, and an opportunity came up, and I looked at it as a challenge, and with myself, coaching is just kind of what I know, and I try and do my best through experiences that I've had, and we've been fortunate as an organization to build on our success every season for the past few years, and like I said previously, humility is a big part of that, and just having a great culture in the locker room is 2 key elements that help help teams have success. And there's a lot of X's and O's that go into the game at this level, and there's a lot of great coaches in our league, and you have to be prepared to day in and day out, and you have to be able to adapt. But I think that your locker room is the biggest element to any success, and what you do on and off the ice and how you carry yourself is something that we focus on more than anything. And I think that that's probably the reason that you're seeing some success from this group.
Listen, I'm sure the community and the kids on your team are very, very thankful and happy to have you running the show, because it sounds like what you've done for that organization is really making headlines locally, provincially, and potentially nationally down the road. Taylor, congratulations on all you've done. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and we'll talk again down the road.
Gino, thanks for having me.
That was Waywayseecappo. Let me try that again. That was Waywayseecappo Wolverines head coach and general manager Taylor Harnett. And that wraps up this week's CJHL Report, the Canadian Junior Hockey League. Your future is here. Still inside 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine, he helped the Drummondville Voltigeurs win the QMJHL Championship back in 2009. And now he's playing for the Philadelphia Flyers. We'll check in with Sean Couturier in this week's edition of Where Are They Now? You're listening to Canada's only nationally syndicated junior hockey radio show. This is season 31 of 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine. And don't forget, you can listen and subscribe to the complete podcast by checking out any of your favorite podcast platforms.